Y'all ready for this?
Kirby, that's a name you should know. Kirby, he's the star of the show.
Hey everybody, Sol here. I have only one rule here. If it's animated, I'll comment on it. And holy funkin' wagnalls, it's my 3-year anniversary! Holy shit! Can you believe I've actually lasted this long in the hellish shit-blasted landscape that is modern YouTube? And I'm still going on strong too. Yeah. It seems like only yesterday you guys were viciously downvoting the first pathetic attempt at a rudimentary cartoon review by a naive animation lover who didn't know how to use Adobe Premiere or how to raise their voice above a nervous murmur for fear of disturbing their roommates. Yeah, how times change. And some other milestones that happened this past year? Well, I passed 10,000 subscribers, and I made some new friends, and I died. Again. For real this time. But enough of the sappy stuff. You're all here for a review, and we're gonna talk about a series that I've been wanting to talk about since the very first day I picked up my old Samsung Galaxy Note 4 and made a custom-built tripod tray to record bullshit on. Hoshi no Kābī, aka Kirby, right back at ya! Hoshi no Kābī, known as Kirby Right Back At Ya in the English version, is an anime series produced by Studio Comet and Warpstar Inc. and is based on the long-standing Kirby franchise owned by Nintendo. The series aired on Chubu-Nippon Broadcasting from 2001 to 2003 with a total of 100 episodes, and later 4Kids licensed the series and aired an English-dubbed, heavily edited version for a North American audience. Yeesh, another series that 4Kids unceremoniously took their scissors to. Had they no integrity at all? I guess, well, a series about a cute little pink ball fighting monsters was too intense and edgy for a North American audience, so fuck that noise. We're gonna be talking about the Japanese version of this series, unless I say so. Okay, kiddies? So, with that being said, because of how intense and edgy it is, let's get our security blankets all ready, let's moisten our thumbs, and let's prepare to ring in the 3rd year of reviews with a cautious look at Hoshi no Kābī. You want to know the plot for this series? Well, do ya? Okay, here it is. Kirby is cute. That is the plot. Alright, well, if you want to get technical about it, the series follows the exploits of a young Hoshi no Senshi, aka Star Warrior, named Kirby, who was woken up early in his developmental stage and is inadvertently rocketed off in his warp star to the land of Pop Star. Creativity? What's that? Upon arriving at Pop Star, Kirby finds that the tyrant king of a country called Poo 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 Land— oh, now I see why this was censored! Named King DDD, has been ordering demon beasts from a shadowy organization known as the Holy Nightmare Company, or the much stupider named NME in the English version, run by the foreboding ruler of the universe named Nightmare. Using his instincts as a natural-born Star Warrior, Kirby defends the land from every single monster of the week that shows up by using his special power of inhaling everything around him and later spitting it out. So, what you're saying is, Kirby's special power is bulimia. Okay, so this plot is boring. Yeah, like, extremely boring. I really should have just left it at the simpler Kirby is cute plot description, because that's all you really care about, right? You just want to see how cute Kirby can get. And so do I. Look at him. Look at his cute little face. Just look at him. 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 Look at his cute face. Apologies. I think I got a little bit carried away there. Well, where was I? Oh yeah. So let's get more carried away by talking more about Kirby. Oh shit. So, first off, we have Kirby. It's a name you should know, because Kirby is the star of the show. Kirby is a young Hoshi no Senshi who is summoned prematurely to fight off the demon beasts ordered by the king of Poo-Poo-Poo Land. Because he was born prematurely, Kirby doesn't have verbal skills and barely understands societal norms. He instead acts purely on instinct and has to build his combat and social skills from the ground up. In essence, he is a baby. A baby that gets continually pounded into mincemeat by beasts more than 3 times his size. Suddenly, I have an overwhelming urge to cry. Look, we can sit here and pretend that I'm going to put forth an intelligent and coherent reasoning for why I adore Kirby so much, but that's just not going to happen. You know why? Because Kirby is the cutest fucking thing in the entire goddamn universe. No, I don't want to hear any arguments, he just is. Deal with it. Fuck Fluttershy, fuck Dot Warner, fuck Baby Dory, fuck even Professor Goddamn Layton. Kirby is the one true cuteness. Kirby is innocent, kind, sweet, naive, as powerful as several atom bombs exploding all at once, and can transform into innumerable badass elemental forms to dispatch the baddies. I can't think of a single criticism to throw at him. I'd consider it sacrilege. In fact, it's a commonly known fact that if you make Kirby cry for any reason, an entire chunk of our Earth collapses into the nightmare corpse city of Ryla beneath the ocean. Apparently the void is somewhere near Ryla. Anyway, let's move on to the characters that I am not afraid to insult. Let's start with Fumu, known as Tiff in the English version. Fumu is the resident Lisa Simpson of Poo-Poo-Poo Land, so she's intelligent, conscientious, high-strung, nagging, and generally just annoying to listen to and be around. Though Fumu does have something of an interesting relationship with Kirby, whom she cares for deeply, there's really not much to say about Fumu other than that her creators must have had stock in their local earplug manufacturing concern because their sales went soaring after this anime aired. Next is Bun, known as Tough in English, who is Fumu's brother. That's all there is to say about him. He's got about as much depth as a piece of thinly sliced Havarti cheese, so let's not waste any more time talking about him. Next up, we've got the fan-favorite Meta Knight, a veteran Hoshi no Senshi who acts as King Dedede's protector, though his allegiances truly lay with Kirby and the others. And he acts as something of a mysterious mentor to Kirby. Meta Knight's pretty damn cool, not gonna lie, but I do feel as though he's underutilized in the overall story. He is the most interesting character by far, yet he's mostly delegated to standing in the background or on top of tables. There's more I want to say on that regard, but I'll save it for later. I'll just say that Meta Knight is one cool dude, even when he's just chillin' watching TV. Lastly, let's have a chat about the villains of this whole shebang, namely King Dedede and his assistant Escargon, or Escargoon in English. King Dedede is an asshole who despotically rules over Poo-Poo-Poo Land with an iron fist, and also acts like a petulant child and tries to destroy Kirby on a weekly basis with a bevy of demon beasts. Funnily enough, rather than just being a bit of a crab like he is in the games, Dedede here is actually a distinct cross between Lord Hater from Wander Over Yonder and, well, Wario from the WarioWare games. Think about it, he's a big, gross, greedy fatty who sits in his ivory tower looking down on everyone around him, spends all his money on stupid, frivolous things, commands a big, mostly faceless army who do his bidding implicitly, has an insanely high opinion of himself, and wants to destroy the happy-go-lucky protagonist for no particular reason other than that they just get on his nerves. In saying that though, Dedede is the best thing in this series next to Kirby. There's something about the way he continually fails and shows such a distinct lack of self-awareness that makes him amusing in the end. I'm sure some people will disagree with me, and I totally understand that. I just think that Dedede is more amusing than annoying, unlike some people around here. Quickly now, let's talk about Escargon, the Smithers to King Dedede's Mr. Burns, if you will. Hey, have you ever noticed how similar this series is to The Simpsons in a lot of ways? Like in how willing the townspeople are to follow fads and get swept up in rioting? Anyway, Escargon is more intelligent and reasonable than DDD is, but he still participates in a lot of the evil scheming on DDD's behalf and puts up with a ton of physical and mental abuse from him too. Why? Well, because he's in love with him, obviously. It's a kid's anime, so they can't say it outright, but it's clear as day to anyone who has more eyes than, well, 0. And that, sadly, is where we must stop today, chillins. Oh, I know, I'm sorry, but talking about all the characters would take much more time than I have.
But you're already dead!
I said we don't have any more time! Moving on! Well, yes, because I'm so strapped for time, let's not waste any more of it on any frivolous nonsense. Oh god. Fuck, I'm out of shape. Anyway, here's the good stuff. To begin with, let's talk about the overall structure the anime has. Well, it does go for the monster of the week style that I find about as engaging as watching a washing machine cycle without any clothes in it. That doesn't mean it isn't fun to watch Kirby zoom all about in every single one of his awesome as fuck Kābī abilities that he uses to obliterate every demon beast that comes his way. It's entertaining in a very visceral way, like Supersonic in Sonic X, or Kusuryuri's final form in Mononoke. My personal favorite form is Mike Kirby, because it's even more destructive than Crash Kirby and 4 billion times more adorable. Hey, did I mention yet that Kirby is cute? No, I didn't? Well then! I swear that if it wasn't for Kirby and his nuclear cuteness, this series would be the most bland thing in existence, and for that, I am oh so grateful. I must prostrate myself before the Kirbys and show them my devotion to their cuteness. While I do that, let's talk about something different, such as the series' score. Now, it is true that many of the songs in this series are taken straight from games like Kirby Air Ride, but that doesn't really matter to me. These songs are damn cool, and it makes me sad that their coolness is diminished by the frankly obscene amount of times they're repeated throughout the series' run. But it's still not a deal breaker to me in any regard. This is a series that's a great one to watch if you're just chilling out, maxing, relaxing all cool on a quiet Sunday afternoon with nothing to do and nowhere to go. It's got that casual sensibility that makes it easy to jump in anywhere and enjoy it regardless, which is something I respect, but I also kinda don't. And why is that exactly? Well, stick around after the animation to find out why. Okay, it's time to dump all over someone else's creation because I'm... Oh, what's the reason for this week? Jealous! Yes, that's right, it's because I'm jealous. Don't forget to vote in the comments for next week's reasons as to why I might have negative opinions about something, because as we all know, nobody ever has any negative opinions about anything because of their own thoughts or ideas or feelings. It's just because we're all one of these things. Alright, so to elaborate on my previous point in a more negative way, it is true that this series is a good casual watch for anyone just wanting something to put on while they clip their toenails or something. But that also means that getting invested in anything going on is virtually impossible. Oh, and it's not like there isn't potential investment going on. There's a big backstory involving the Hoshi no Senshi's fight against Nightmare that took place thousands of years before the beginning of the series that's actually quite interesting. Too bad it's barely ever talked about. Well, that's just the Japanese version. If you watch the English version, there's no mention of the war against Nightmare anywhere in the entire series. Screw you for wanting engaging stories, North America. This all boils down to the fact that the entire series runs on a formula. Now, formulas are necessary, especially for things like bun cake or racing cars, but here it's taken to an absurd level of formulaic. I'm talking almost Mystery Diners levels of formulaic.
Release the drone.
All the fights are the same. All the music cues are the same. All the characters' actions and reactions are the same, even Kirby's copy abilities are the same. So what's the appeal here exactly? Sure, it's got lots of visual references to the video games that any fan of the series would enjoy, but this doesn't even need to be an anime. It could be a radio drama and basically nothing would change. That's no exaggeration either, since the fights, the climaxes of the story often last less than 2 minutes, some even being shorter than 30 fucking seconds. Come on, we want to see Kirby kick some ass, not watch the villagers go to school for the 3rd fucking time. That's my main beef with this series. It just doesn't give me what I want. It focuses much more on the superfluous and repetitive than the interesting and engaging. Oh, and that reminds me, why doesn't Nightmare send like 1 billion warships and demon beasts to kill Kirby all at once instead of just one at a time as soon as he became aware of Kirby's presence? He's the only thing that can threaten Nightmare's regime, and yet he just keeps giving him the tools to make him stronger so that he can take down Nightmare in the future. It's a lapse in logic, okay? It's a hole in the story. It's fucking stupid. Yes, because of the Monster of the Week format and the complete lapse in logic there, that does make this series a brick wall series, and a pretty egregious one at that. Nothing ever escalates in a meaningful way, everything is always back to normal after the episode ends, none of the mounting threats ever actually do any permanent damage, and it just feels like a whole lot of pointless, albeit extremely adorable and nicely colorful, nothing! Of course, another thing to bitch about is the blatant censorship that 4Kids did to the series, but if you want to hear my specific thoughts on that, just go watch my Sonic X review if you haven't already. It's got big boob bats in it, whereas this one just has big boob Fumu. Yeah. So with all that said and done, let's take a quick look at my least favorite and favorite episodes. So, there were quite a few episodes that stood out as dislikable because they are boring. But only one episode stands out as dislikable because it sucks. And that one has to be Watashi no Aishita Sakana, or A Fish Called Kine. In this episode, a fish named Kine falls in love with Fumu, and he tries everything he can to join her on land so that they can have an interspecies romance. Meanwhile, King Dedede and Escargon want to go to the Rainbow Coral Reef to do villainy things. So I dislike this episode quite a lot, not only because Kine is extremely annoying and surprisingly even more useless than his appearance in Kirby 64 The Crystal Shards, but also because it has a pointless romance story and a pointless environmental protection story all jammed into one episode that truly does feel like every second of it scrapes by. Okay, no more gift gaff, so my favorite episode out of all of these has to be Anime Shinban Gumi Hoshi no Dedede, or Cartoon Buffoon. In another attempt at making propaganda for the gullible townspeople to fall for, King Dedede constructs an animation studio to produce an anime that makes Kirby out to be the villain. Now, I don't want to spoil what happens here, but it's honestly genuinely hilarious. Oh, did I mention that Dedede is like Lord Hater yet? Yeah, well, here's some more evidence for you, because there's the exact same episode in Wander Over Yonder, pretty much. Not only is this episode pretty damn funny, but it's also an interesting look at the way anime is produced in real life, though hopefully with less slave labor involved. And overall, it's just a fun experience to witness. Hoshi no Kābī, aka Kirby Right Back At Ya, doesn't seem to have all of its priorities in order. Still baffles me to this day that they would choose to focus on the mundane and repetitive instead of the potentially engaging and interesting. But, well, for what the series does do, it does it competently enough. It's bright, it's colorful, it's bombastic, and it stars the cutest fucking thing in the entire goddamn universe, so I can't get too mad at it in the end. For what it's worth, well, it's just entertaining enough for me to give it a pass, but it's certainly not reaching anywhere near the stars. I give Hoshi no Kābī, aka Kirby Right Back At Ya. .5 eyes out of 5. So, Hoshi no Kābī. Is it watchable? Yeah, I'd say that it is. It's like, your eyes won't bleed when you watch it, so that's something, I guess. Is it enjoyable? Sure, that date is for 1 or 2 episodes at a time. It's definitely enjoyable, but if you have to binge watch it like I did, it really starts to wear on your mind and your patience quite a lot, believe me. Is it memorable? Well, certainly the Kirby franchise itself is memorable, and it's still going on, even to this day, but is the anime memorable? Well, it certainly has memorable moments, like... Yeah, that. Excuse me, everyone. I think I just Hoshi no Sen shit my pants. Hoshi no Kābī, aka Kirby, right back at ya! Are you fucking serious? It didn't do it. Would you like to stay up to date on the latest EyeofSol news, as well as contribute directly to my channel? You can find my Twitter page, my Facebook page, and my link to my Patreon page there on the screen for you, as well as in the description. I update the Twitter and Facebook pages every day, so if you want to check out news on the show, as well as updates, just follow the links here.
Bonk, bonk.